I'm Tim Guinee, and I'm sorry to disappoint, but this actually isn't going to be a masterclass. You see, I have something to announce. I'm considering a run to be the president of the Screen Actors Guild. That's right. I believe we can make the guild great again. Now, what I'm going to do in my consideration is put forth some proposals I have and see whether or not I have any traction. You see, some things have come to mind, some rather disturbing things, which I feel need to be addressed. Now, unfortunately, one of them involves one of my most diligent, ardent students, Mr. James Woods. He won't leave me alone. Questions, questions, questions. Just the kind of student I like. Well, there is one problem with Jimmy. I don't know whether or not you know, but he is an enormous tool. No, James Woods has an enormous tool. No, he does. It's known all over Hollywood. There hasn't been such a member in Hollywood since the days of Uncle Milty. His penis is enormous. It sits in his pants like a coiled anaconda, ready to strike. At any moment, he actually has to feed it live rabbits and squirrels just to keep it sated. Now, this is very strange. If you know Jimmy, he's a very skinny, thin little man, and he has an enormous, enormous penis. It makes no sense. He is actually so skinny, he has to run around in the shower just to get wet. When he was born, they had to tie knots in his legs to make knees. Try the veal. Years ago, Jimmy and I were playing rather minor roles in a Danny Baldwin vehicle, John Carpenter's Vampires. We were playing vampire hunters. In one scene, Jimmy was driving a truck. We're driving along, and I said something to him, which I guess he didn't like. He jumped out, he ran around, opened the passenger door, grabbed me, threw me down an embankment, which I may or may not have used a stuntman for, jumped on my stomach and put a gun to my head, threatening me. And when he did, we had just eaten lunch just prior to that, and from my rectum, as if someone had jammed a Canadian goose, a live Canadian goose up there issued an enormous, shrill, screeching, honking noise. My anal mouth opened up, and such a flatulent... It was like a train was rushing by. Now, I don't believe this was because of Jimmy's weight. He's a skinny, thin little man. I think it was because of the weight of his lengthy, terrifying, unimaginably girthy member. Now, as president of the Screen Actors Guild, I shall put forth the following proposal. Anytime James Woods has to sit on an actor, he must use a stunt penis, something tiny and insignificant. Now, I know you're going to think I'm trying to make a profit out of a terrible situation. I am willing to rent out my penis in such situations. I promise you, my penis will injure no one.